Alright, so I just got back from vacation. I don't have much time to make a costume or props, so let's do something easy today. Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Dave, aka the Costume Kid, and today we're going to be making Captain America's shield. So, around the 4th of July, a lot of people started commenting to make Captain America and his shield because it's American. Unfortunately, I was caught up with Spider-Man and Doctor Who and all that stuff that I didn't have time, but at least it's not August 4th. Here's a tip. If you really want me to make something for a specific holiday or movie release or something, don't tell me about it on that day. Comment about it a few weeks in advance so that I have time to make it. Anyway, Captain America's shield. So this is a relatively easy build, shouldn't take anybody that long, and it's great for a first start at prop making. But the thing is, many people have done it in the past. There's so many tutorials. There's people who've made them out of sleds or saucers or even satellite dishes, which look really cool, but those are a little harder because you gotta cut up metal. There's people who have made them really easy out of like a trash can lid, or even cardboard. Those are really easy, don't always look the best though. So then I was thinking, how do I make something that's original, yet is still easy enough to make, and actually holds up as a prop, and then it hit me. EVA Foam. Alright, so that is correct, another big EVA Foam build, just like my hoverboard here. I have never seen anybody make a Captain America shield out of EVA Foam before, so I'm really excited to try it. Hey guys, future Dave here. Sorry, Cosplay Apprentice. As of the time I was filming this video, I hadn't actually seen yours, so guess we kind of made the same prop. Sorry. I have seen one person make a shield out of EVA Foam, and that was, of course, Odin the Bot from the YouTube channel Odin Makes. I'm sure you heard of his channel before. It's really cool. He makes all kind of stuff out of EVA Foam. And he made the Wonder Woman shield not too long ago, and that turned out really good. It looked just awesome. And luckily, he put the plans in the description. So here I have Odin Makes Wonder Woman shield plans, and now I'm going to modify these a little and turn them into Captain America. Most of this build is in the paint job, so yeah, should be pretty easy. Let's get started. Hey guys, so I don't really understand Odin's plans here. I can see how some of these go together, specifically 2 of them each. But I don't understand how the 4 fit together. I'm trying to think, it wouldn't go like that, because I'm pretty sure it's just a quarter of the shield, so that I can make the full thing. So I'm thinking, if this is the quarter, then how does this work? Does it go like, no, maybe like this? I'm not really understanding it here, so I think what I'm gonna do is just take these 2, which I believe have the most of the corner as possible, because it just needs to extend for this much, and then I'll try to figure out how to place this in here, and then somehow maybe, because this would be maybe the edge, and then I try to figure, I think I'm gonna cut this here 4 times. This is definitely not the way Odin intended for this, but I can't figure it out. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so these plans are done. It's probably not right, but it's good enough. All right, now we're gonna trace it onto EVA Foam. Alright, so you know the drill by now. We take our pattern piece and we're going to pin it onto a sheet of EVA foam. This is going to take 2 sheets, but I'm not actually going to flip the pattern for the other part. I didn't find it necessary, and because this voiceover is recorded after the video's done, yeah, it worked out fine, so I didn't flip it. Make sure you make those darts there to cut eventually, and then we're going to cut it out, and we're just going to cut it up. You know how to do that. Make sure to keep your blade nice and like 90-degree angle, because you don't want it bending any bit, because the little angle you bend it at, that could just make your pieces not connect right. Okay, here are our beautiful pieces, all nice and cut out. And now our next step before gluing them is heat forming them. So I'm sure if you've seen any other video on EVA Foam, you already know what heat forming is, but here's a quick recap. Basically, it's taking a heat gun or something like this and heating up the nice foam piece, and then you can bend it. Well, like a shield, you need to curve it, or armor, or whatever you're making. Similarly to my Magneto helmet, this is all EVA foam. Check that video out. And then when the foam cools down, it'll actually stay in that curve. So it really helps with gluing and giving it the final look. Alright, so now that these pieces are a little bit curved, a little bit heat formed, we can glue them together. And as usual, when working with foam, I'm going to use contact cement. So now we're going to put some glue in those darts, just filling them up with some nice glue. Now, if this is your first time watching a foam build, contact cement, which most people use, what it is you brush it on the surface and then let it sit a couple minutes, and then it becomes tacky, then you can stick them together. So this is minutes later in the time lapse here, and now they stick like no other. It is just perfect. Ooh, okay, so now we're gluing up the seam of one of those lines to get half of it. Most people, when they do foam stuff, they use registration marks. That's what, Evil Ted and a lot of people do, as well as Odin did on this, the templates, but I didn't trace them onto my foam. I didn't want to waste the time doing that. They're very handy, but I've been doing a lot of foam builds, and I'm pretty good at just keeping it straight. So make sure you have them level and lined up as good as possible, and just use registration marks anyway. Oh boy, okay, now here is the big seam. I have both my halves and now I'm sticking them fully together. Now this is where registration marks really come in handy. Probably really should have put them, but I didn't, tried to keep it as good as possible, and it kind of worked out. So now it looks like a shield, which is good. That's where we're going with this. But following this, we're going to turn it into Captain America shield. Alright, here we go. This shield is 28 inches across. Actually, following the curve, it's 28 inches. It's about 24 if you just go flat. So I was trying to figure that out, how big each of the rings should be. So I'm thinking about 3 inches for these ones. This shirt is not accurate. This star should not be that big. But I'm thinking if we do 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, that'll give us a nice piece in the middle to have the star. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Alrighty, so I'm going to make some marks where the rings will go, the edge of each of them. This would be easier if you had a flexible ruler or maybe some measuring tape, but I just have a regular old yardstick or meter stick. So I'm just going to try to bend it as I'm marking them out. So yeah. Then we can draw some rings connecting them around it. This doesn't have to be the most perfect thing in the world. It depends on how screen accurate you're going for. But yeah. Okay, so here's where I'm going to try something new. You could certainly just mask off around those rings and paint it. That would look fine. But I have this technique where I'm gonna etch in a line there. There's like about 1/4 to 1/2 of the way through. And then you can see that's, just a line, nothing really special there. And then using a heat gun, that cut will actually open up and it will become like a little ridge, a little valley there. And it looks really, really cool because after you paint, you can see that so well. And that'll mimic the look of the MCU Captain America shield, where there's actually a ridge in between each of the rings. Alright, that is it for the physical detail on the shield, so now it is time to paint. This is probably going to be the tedious masking part of this video, so great. Luckily, we don't have to mask the first couple layers, and that is Plastidip. If you don't know what Plastidip is, it's basically a spray paint that is flexible, that's good to coat these in. It seals them, in addition to heat sealing them we just did, and then the paint won't crack when it moves and bends, because it's foam. Alright, so now we're coating it in black Plastidip. It's kind of looking good. Black is a good base if you're going to do silver or any other metallic color on top of it, because it just helps reflect better. Alright, now that our shield is all nice and Plastidip'd up, looking really cool, you can really see those ridges that we cut earlier. Now it is time for silver. Alright, we're painting it silver, both the top and the bottom. Yeah. I feel there's really no point to this voiceover right now. Why am I doing this? What's that? Yeah, drop a comment if you think this voiceover personality guy should stay. Oh, okay. Alright, this shield is all nice and silver, looking really cool. You could, I guess, stop here because now you have the prototype shield from the first Captain America movie. But of course, we need the red and the blue and the star and the straps, but yeah. So let's mask off this and probably this too, and paint these red. Oh wow, would you look at that? We're masking now. How cool is that? Yeah. Didn't it just say we're doing that? But this is so pointless. Voiceover guy's out. I quit. I'm done. No more voiceovers. At least for this video. I'm done. Goodbye. Alright, so this shield is looking really awesome, a lot like Captain America. I decided I'm not gonna weather it here. I don't have enough time right now. I might in the future. But with the masking tape, it did peel up this little bit of red there you might be able to see. And it's silver. I could fix that with a little bit of red paint, but honestly, I don't really want to in case I might weather it in the future because it actually just looks like the paint chipping away. But now it's time to do the star, and I think I'm going to make that 3D using some thin 2mm craft foam. For all these lines on the shield, which are specific to the MCU shield, I'm going to draw them onto this, and then I'm going to use the same technique for the lines in the shield and use a heat gun with scoring them and open them up. Alright, so while that star is drying up, we're ready to do the last detail on this entire shield, unless you want to weather it, which I'm not going to cover in this video. But you could also check out my Ghostbuster video, actually either of the Ghostbuster videos, if you want to see something on weathering. But we're going to work on the straps that go on the inside so you can actually hold it. This is optional because if you're going to use it as a display, put it on a wall or something, you don't need straps, but I want to hold it. So for that, I'm pretty much going to use the most obvious thing, a belt, and just cut out bits of this belt and make a couple straps. His, I think, are brown. My belt is actually black, but I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. I think the straps should be black instead of brown, so I'm going to do that.